just meeting all the great Rotarians and learning about all the wonderful things that we're doing as a district in 7680. So, thank you.
Anybody else? Have any announcements? Well, we have our social coming up on at Hugh and Barbara's house on the 28th of September, so it's a ways away, but it was in the Dilworthian. And we have potentially another one at end of August. But we're still in midst of changing a few things with the board, so we'll keep you updated on that. And so far, our year is going fine, so that's all the announcement I have today. All right, well, moving on. Introduction of our program today.
Well, I'm also the technical support, so I'll have to go back and forth. Tami has just joined us. Tami is from India, and she is Kiran's best childhood friend. So it's 9:30 p.m. in India. So we've got a couple of people who want to hear what Kiran has to say from around the world. So it's very exciting. So Kiran and I went to the same boarding school. Kiran got there when she was 8 years old, away from home 8 months of the year. I got there when I was 11. It was a residential colonies school. Rana was there as well. He and Kiran got married subsequently, but he was in school 4 years ahead of us. So, you know, almost a generation in school, you tell me. But you know, they had a really interesting life. He's a Navy SEAL, and he did that for a few years. And then 1999, so he can swim underwater for a mile. And so he then went into farming. He went back to farming his ancestral land. He's a very innovative farmer. At some point, we'll have him come and talk to us as well. He follows some great agricultural techniques. He's in Punjab, which is one of the most fertile parts of India. And Kiran supported him throughout his Navy career. Atul cannot hear me or see me. Can he not hear me? Okay, sorry, closer to the mic. Okay. Is that better, Atul? All right, sorry. Atul, can you hear me now?
Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
Yeah, better? Okay. So anyway, they moved back to that farm in rural Punjab, which is very, very fertile, a very, very fertile part of India. And over time, Kiran, and I won't steal her thunder, she is very artistic, very crafty. She slowly started to, kind of evolve a little not-for-profit, very similar to what the work we did in Alto Caima, Peru, where, started involving rural women in handcrafts and slowly built that up and now runs a thriving weaving center there, which you will hear more about. In addition, she and her husband, her father had started a school for underprivileged children in close to the border of India and Pakistan. And, he was getting on in age and he said, guess what? You guys will have to start running my school as well. So now they are also running a school with 600, 700 kids? 900 children. So they're the CEO, operating head, and, and they're doing remarkable work. They've started to bring in videos because the teaching quality in India in rural schools is not very good. Teachers don't show up, they don't do their job. So they've brought in prepackaged lessons, which now the teachers are getting smarter and the kids are also getting smarter. So it's been they're really a boon to both the village that they live in and the village that they're working in. So remarkable story, and from here I'll let Kiran take over. So. Yes, that sounds good. Yeah, there we go. You can let me know when to start.
Right. So, hello, everybody. For me, it's such an honor to be here and speak to Rotarians. I have so many friends all over in Delhi and India who are Rotarians, and I know that the values you stand for, community and service, help, the goodness that Rotarians spread all over the world, I really appreciate. And I'm honored to be here with you, and thank you for inviting me. So I'll tell you my story. It's all like it's a very I can speak for hours and hours, and I hope that I don't do that and veer off the topic and stuff. But it really started for me, like Ranjit said, when we moved to our rural Punjab, and Rana started to farm. And I noticed we live in the middle of nowhere, and we have houses in our fields, in the middle of nowhere. We are surrounded by 3 villages, all about a kilometer away from us.
Kilometers
All right.
0.75 miles.
Right. So and more, maybe about a couple. I was looking for ways to get involved with the community around me, because they're all, farmers, and they're all farmers' wives. There's a lot of patriarchy there, and I wanted to empower the women. And we'd been in the Navy I was a wife for 7 years. Rana was in the Navy for 15. But so we used to have an organization called the Navy Naval Wives Welfare Association. And we used to work with sailors' wives for basically rural girls. And I was amazed at the talent they had, the skill they had to craft. They could knit, crochet, sew, make lace, And I really thought that when I came back to Punjab sometime in the future, I'd look into all this. It was just at the back of my head. When we actually came to live there, I realized that I asked around my aunts and all, they said nobody knows that nobody does needlework, or they're good at farm work, but otherwise our village, nobody's. You won't find embroiderers, and how wrong they were. Because that just shows you how cut off we are from our, roots and our communities in the village. So I asked my, helpers around. I asked them to find me somebody who could embroider, and she said, "Everybody can. You tell me how many ladies you want." And so anyway, I'm happy to hear that. And I called all these women over, and we talked about craft and doing sewing and how I could give them money. We could design stuff. It was a concept they just couldn't even get their head around. So they're like, who pays for this work I do for my daughter's trousseau, my own work? They had never actually ever marketed. So I asked them to bring all their pieces that they were proud of to show me. And I had a vague idea that we could do some weaving, we could do some embroidery, and I really had to decide how to take this forward. Anyway, I was stunned with the level, the variety of things, the talent. And I still haven't really got down to utilizing all of it, to making the most of all that, developing, I should say, most of their talents. But anyway, so we started with cross-stitch embroidery, which I thought was very mathematical, can't go wrong, yet so beautiful, no infrastructure needed. And I gave them a sample, fabric and threads and everything, and they took it home. And they embroidered me something, whatever I'd asked them to do. And the thing is that it was like, I never taught anybody too much, but I just gave them colors, little color interventions in color and, placing stuff and making. They'd never made tea linen before. They had no idea, how we use tea linen. But if I was to market this stuff in India, it had to be something that urban people were using. So it wasn't going to be their bed covers and all that. It had to be finer work. So we did that, and I just gave them 2 instructions. I said, everybody's allowed 1 mistake each. But not be listening to me carefully, it doesn't matter. It's no problem. Second thing, I want neat work, nice work. I want work that if you went into the market, you would buy. And you know how wives are, housewives, and rural housewives, particular. They'll not spend money, till it's just. I said, if there's something you make and you will not buy it yourself, don't bring it in to me. Just set it right. And also, I also explained to them that we are going to do a business. And if they're going to make mistakes just for the heck of it, but I'm going to pay them for everything. And if they're going to just be careless about it, then eventually this business will come to a halt. And that whole, like I said, the wheel will stop rolling and we'll be out of business. And so it won't be a good place to be, So let's not do that. And I'm so proud of them. They just worked beautifully. You have to see our cross-stitch embroidery and you have to look at the back of it to appreciate that it's so neat.
So these are samples. These are some samples of work from.
This is a shopping Ranjit did when he came to my.
And actually, this is ours. I have to interject. And it's a little bit stained because Ranjit and I have tea service twice a day, every day. And so this one is actively being used and I just didn't have a chance to put it through the wash for the presentation, but that's how often you have tea, which people do in India, right? Every day is
Yes.
we do. These things are used all the time. It's not just for special occasions.
So I started this in 2004. And I also didn't want to be too busy in my life because I had young kids and all that. So we kept it, slow. And the women just grew. I mean, they just continued to join me. And we retail in one shop in Chandigarh and we would have an exhibition every year. And that is how we sold our year's stock. Or people called me and I could just deliver. So it was like very informal, very unplanned. Then I decided to broaden the product range. We were doing crochet blankets, and we were doing. So I thought that I would. This is the farm.
This is the farm.
Yeah.
This is the farm
We have
in Punjab.
Our house is one of one.
That complex is the farm. They
Yeah.
have a swimming pool that's fed with running water, with a stream. I mean, a
Tube well.
tube work, so
Underground.
irrigation. So it's always fresh. No chlorine, freezing cold.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
So I decided to broaden the scope of our products and product range, and I wanted to do these cotton blankets that I had grown up with when I was young. And I said, let me find a few weavers now. I think I can, organize that. Needs a lot more infrastructure and stuff. And everybody in Punjab and all rural India they have a small pit loom which is dismantleable. It's very, very basic. It's really a basic loom, which is about 28-30 inches broad. And you can roll it all up and put it away. And all our.
Here's a picture. Is that?
This is a dari.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, we put the pictures together in a hurry.
Okay, I'll go back.
That would be this.
Okay.
Sorry, Rolly. This. The last one was the.
Just tell me when I get the right story. Sorry? I'm going
Just
to-
before this. Before this. This is the traditional old loom.
Okay.
And these are designers, young designers. So when we went into weaving, I realized that nobody's weaving anymore. And I was shocked because weaving for us over there is part of when they give a bride, it's a bridal trousseau stuff that they weave for their daughter's trousseau. I'm surprised. I said, why don't you weave anymore? They said, we have enough stuff left from our own trousseaux and kids want to buy these new blankets. They knew this thing, they're not interested. They have new big box beds. They don't have charpais and they're interested in our, trousseaux that we give them. So the trousseau, basically, a bistar was a charpai, which is a woven bed. And it had a dari, which is a rug, basically a cotton rug. Then it had a small thin mattress. Over it, you had a bed sheet and you had a case for covering. So all these things used to be woven by almost every rural household and about 40 years ago, 50 years ago. And now it's just not there. And that frightened me. And I kind of thought I should do something about it. And spoke to my friends. I didn't know enough about yarns and weaving to start something. I could guide women along, but I couldn't start it. So I again just happened to meet my friend, talk about this to my friend who's a corporate trainer. And she said, my best friend is from NID, the National Institute of Design in Ahmedabad, and they're like very good at design and stuff, textile design and stuff. And she said she's looking to do some work with the community and give back. So I invited these two over, Sangeeta Sen and Priya Singh, and they came to Balwar and they set up our processes for us. And we started with one weaver and weaving daris and case. And today we have like 29 looms and we have about 45 trained women. And all that happened subsequently over the next 5 years. But Sangeeta and Priya really helped me to set up the first thing. And in fact, I was not going to do the dari. The Punjab bridal dari is a very iconic and very unique kind of rug. It's woven by housewives who project their own sensibility onto it. It's their artwork. Every mother will sit down, choose her colors, dye them, choose her motif, which is usually from everyday life. It'll be a little rabbit, or it'll be a little flower, or it'll be a little teacup. I've seen those. It'll be cars. It'll be a little duck or a bird. They just choose from their own imagination. And it's really a work of art. It's very quirky. And all this I didn't know. When I was seeing their daris, to me, they were just bright rugs. And my friend Sangeeta, she taught me where they fit into, the society and society lore and how it came into being and how important it is to keep it up, to keep it going. So thanks to these wonderful women, we trained 18 women and restarted our dari. Unfortunately, they don't think anymore. They just copy motifs from each other. So we just got them we dug out their daris and stuff and started to, we intervened a little bit in design so that they would be good for urban markets. And we softened the colors here and there. We brightened them in some places. The combinations we changed. And we were quite proud of our work. But now I'm going back to their imagination and their quirkiness. And hopefully Sangeeta has given them a few techniques where they should be able to imagine, they'll be able to translate their ideas back onto daris and given them those skills. So hopefully we'll be seeing more quirky stuff from us instead of the carefully designed, things that we do. However, I'm really, so we did this, developed this much of weaving, and then got together a collection for an exhibition in Delhi. And we exhibited at a very famous craft fair, which is curated by Laila Taibji. And she's been in craft and reviving craft, one of the forerunners of reviving craft in India and small communities. And we got a wonderful response. In fact, my needlework is so old-fashioned and all that. My husband is like, who's going to buy this? It's like, you'll have a nice cupboard full of gifts, but I don't think anyone's going to buy these. And I'm happy to say that people who had been embroidering in their youth, who understood that they were the biggest shoppers with me. And it all just sold out pretty fast. And we got a good feedback. Sadly, COVID hit in February 2020, March 2020. India got locked down. And so we went back very happy with our work, but we couldn't progress in the way I would have liked to for the next 2 years. However, the women all had work. And we realized the direction was right. And we kind of continued through COVID when husbands had lost their jobs, the wives were. So I'm very happy and proud about that. And husbands understood then the importance of their work. And I think gave them a little more, respect and understood. Now, this is how it works. I set up a traditional fit loom. with one old lady, came and she spent 2 months with us, and she trained these girls, and all the girls who've come to me for weaving are not weavers, who've never woven in their life, but they've seen somebody weaving. They've seen a grandmother, they've sat at a loom, they figured out, and they were all enthusiastic about it. So I have a bunch of women who love it. They're very happy to be. And moving on, I collaborated with the CASE project, two extremely talented kids who were, yes. And then they came over and stayed with us for 3 months. We did natural dyeing. That's Arjun Veer, who's now presently in Oxford doing his master's. And Rashi Sharma, who has her own business, and she's also doing, they both researched CASE and the Senji Pulkari. That's another whole topic.
What's that word case that you're?
The word CASE is this. This is a cotton blanket traditionally used in India for a covering, and it's made of. Okay.
I've already paid for it. It's already sold.
Yeah. So these are still, we have such a wealth of weaves in our culture, and I'm sad to say that it is vanishing. The older generation who can weave, who knows all this, is now not even willing to come to my workshop to train anybody. Oh, no, we've done it. They don't believe, those old ladies, that, they're a very important part of our growth. So Arjun and Rashi came and they designed weaves, little off, since they're textile designers, and we did a collection together. Yes. So this is my design. This is stuff that I worked with. We haven't got any of their work is irresistible. It's
Really?
yes, it's a natural dyes, and it's we did a memoir collection. If you go to the website, you'll see it, the landing page. And we use vegetable dyes, which are just so amazing. They go with the natural yarn that we use. So that collection did very well.
The yarn is from what?
The yarn is cotton. Cotton. It's pure cotton. Cotton. I say
Grown in India.
Grown in India, grown all around us, and can do wonderful things with it. This covering has a lovely weight, very comforting weight, on you. And we use fans a lot in India, and bed sheets. If you cover yourself with a sheet, it tends to be a little fluttery and fly away. This is perfect. It's cool in summer, warm in the winter, like all natural fabrics are. Anyway, this is very traditional to India. So then we looked to the government to help us a little bit. I needed to grow further, and these pit looms that we were using were very slow. And my women, they need to earn. So they were working too slowly, and I kind of looked to the government. There's a Weaver Service Center. They have all over the country, not in Punjab, ironically, but they have in Haryana. So I started to work, talk to them about this work and how to grow. And we upgraded to the fly shuttle loom. And that's really quick. And every woman who was taking 4 days to weave one of these blankets now does it in a day. And in a part-time day, she can come in at 10 o'clock. She can, go away at 3, and she's done a case. So suddenly they started to earn well. And now it's become popular to weave. And so I invited the CASE project to come and experiment, do whatever they wanted, help us grow further. And they did a beautiful collection. We collaborated on that. And so we're on it now. The government then set up training for women who wanted to learn to weave. And now we have, because women are earning so well, we have lots of people who want to learn. So they're taught from scratch. It's a 45-day workshop. And I must say, I was very impressed. I don't really, trust governments to do things properly most of the time, India especially. This impressed me. They really did a good job. They trained our girls. They And now they're working with me. They also offered them a 90% discount on subsidy on looms. So what was a 30,000 rupee loom, they got at for just 3,000.
Which is roughly.
About 500.
No,
No, no, no, Rana,
$40. Yeah,
30,000.
30,000 rupees.
3,000.
3,000 is about $40. 30,000 is about.
Yeah, divided by 84.
The loom is
It's
about
$35.71.
That is 3,000.
Yeah.
But so the women just had to pay 3,000, sorry, $30 for a loom that would have cost them 500
But
with
basic-
accessories and
But
everything.
it also gives them a livelihood.
So that's what the government is doing for them, which is great. I mean, it's wonderful. So all the women raised their hands, got their looms, and then realized they have nowhere to keep them. Their homes are too small. So now we're working, again, the government does offer to subsidize a room. So I'm working on that. Meanwhile, they're piling up that I took over my husband's hay shed, which is a largest room. So we work out of that now, and we're looking to build infrastructure and all, which will come up. Yes.
I have the picture of the hay shed a little further down. That's the hay shed.
Hey,
Yeah.
So this is-
This was his old hay shed.
I don't know if you have a picture of it from the outside.
So they have to come from their
So
home.
this is-
Yes, yes.
To leave.
Yeah.
So it's not quite so
Uh,
10 o'clock at night or.
No, yes, so they can't do that. But now that they have their own looms, when they go home, this is the lot that comes in every day.
And now they-
Some of them weave daris.
So who works in the fields now?
They don't need to.
So
They
that's-
have-
I mean, who
This is
does? There's
Yeah.
Raji.
Yeah.
So here,
Oh, yeah, that's me in front of the hay shed. It's
Wow.
a fancy hay shed, I will say that.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, and he's put windows in it.
that was for us.
So that, it
Yeah.
was just, before that, it was just.
Yeah.
So when I went to see it, it was still half hay and half loom.
Yes, yes.
And now apparently all loom, so.
Rana took pity on us. We had 29, 30 looms. but- Yeah.
She said, give her a little bit and she's taking more. Encroaching on his farm.
Yeah. So now.
Are they noisy?
No, they're just a click, clack, They're a bit crude, but this is one of my, best viewers.
The looms are not nicely, the women are.
The women are. Yeah, what I'm happy about is that they love to come to. And we talk about other things. We have, I'm sorry, I have not put up their dancing and their whatever, but we do stuff together. We celebrate festivals and all that together. Another minor thing, but
You talk about this.
yes, I will. When these women used to come home to my house to, take work from me, Rana noticed that their daughters were coming with them. And sometimes, so he said, why are the children not in school? Why are they here with their mothers? They should be in school. I said, yeah, I never noticed. And I asked them, and it turned out that they had dropped out from school. And and what was even worse was when we asked them why, they said the panchayat, which is the village head, had decreed that no girls will go to school beyond the 8th class from their village because that school was too far away. And they didn't want their girls to get spoiled or corrupted or, have boyfriends. I don't know what they were. So they had stopped education for them. And so we spoke to the parents, we asked the kids, they wanted to be back in school, but they had missed 4 years. They didn't want to go back to the same school. So then we put them into private schools, which had buses and don't cost a lot, but they had a bus come to the village and pick them up. And so then Rana and I worked with this one village and we got these girls back into school with the help of our family and friends. We immediately sponsored for 4 years, that's the 8th, would be the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. For 4 years, we sort of pledged to, we got these our mothers and our cousins and our sisters and brothers to take one girl for 4 years and pay for her school education. And it cost about 10,000 rupees a year, which is about not much. Yeah, a year. But we got the kids to buy their own books and the uniforms, so that they had a little bit of like a little commitment to it. And girls went to school, and the parents were happy. And then when the first 4 finished their education, we talked about higher education. Nobody in the village had been to college, and so that was a first. And lots of parents said no, we're not interested. But somehow the kids were keen, and then the parents are very scared of outside influence. And they said if they go to cities for their college, they will just ruin our family name, our boyfriend, make friends, and whatever. So we asked the kids, I talked to the girls, and I said, you promise that you will not do anything your parents will not want you to do. Otherwise, all your sisters in the future will suffer. They'll never be allowed again. Again, I'm very proud to say the girls were good, and there were a few girls who eloped from the village and all that. They were not our girls. Yeah, it happens. And so they went to college, and I'm happy to say I didn't even have a talk or anything. 25th year. At that time, I just started this project, and I must have been talking about it to my friends, and people overheard, called me back and said, we want to sponsor a girl. What is this you were talking about? I just heard a bit of it. So a lot of my batchmates sponsored girls to school. I'm very proud of that. Eventually, we started to sponsor them for college as well. And the village panchayat was spoken to, and they allowed them to go to the government school. So we weren't spending our money giving them a basic education. We started to offer them higher education, sponsor that. And now I'm happy to say we don't even do that. They're all just so used to going to college. The boys also go to college because the girls have started going to college. So it's just become normal to be doing your masters and your postgrad. And they're all very qualified girls and boys in that village. Yeah, okay. So at the end, I'd like to say that we have a lot going on there. And I'm happy if it progresses this way, because if it continues to grow the way it's been growing so far, because we've got orders, people have found us. We've got orders for big companies, small orders, which we can handle very sensitively, they've given us. And we've done a few export. In fact, our blankets, some of them this case is marketed in the US as well. So I'm very happy with the direction it's taken, and I hope to scale up further and grow. And I'm happy to share the products and the feel of it, and you understand. It's just, even for us over there, who've grown up using these things, you just don't get them anymore. So it's nice for us to have all this somewhere. So now, one more point. Because we're a small community of craftspeople, and we're doing all this craft, we're doing it with high quality, design schools are coming to us, sending their children to us for documenting craft, stuff like that. I'm very happy about that, because we hope that's the way we'll grow. All these young minds will give us product diversification, and maybe from completely traditional things, we'll go to contemporary, and then go to more parts of the world, and hopefully just go from there. And that's it.
Take a few questions here.
Anytime, yes.
From your village.
What happens typically is I have 45 women who are trained to weave, definitely. But out of those, I have about 20 who are regular with us. And the rest will join in slowly, I'm sure, because they have young kids and somebody's got a
Is it all weaving now?
No.
They're still doing cross
We are doing cross stitch. So we have about 20 people, about 15, 16 people doing cross stitch. And that's moved a generation. Like the girl who was my office in charge and who was giving all the works, the cross stitch and all, has married and moved away. And she says, "Ma'am, I'm missing my son." She lives in another village. So I told her we started an outreach there. So she takes the work from me, earns a commission, and distributes it to women in her village. Was so excited to have work to do from home. So my work is they shrink and they grow. Some of them fall out, somebody's got married and gone or expecting a baby, then they drop out for some time. So roughly there are about 40, 45 women involved.
What percentage of the village is that? Are half the women working?
No,
10%.
yes, 10. It's a small percentage, I must.
Congratulations.
Yes.
How do we order these?
Yeah, so that's something, I need an export license to be able to ship them to the US. I'll go back and make sure I get it. And I have a website, which is also built and managed by my daughter. And she does the Instagram page as well. So there is a website, you can order on that, just give me a call.
I can do this. I'll be coming out shortly.
Ranjit, yeah, he can carry it.
Let's get the Instagram handle out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. So sorry, I have all that.
Trying to get it up to the website.
I'll share my screen. I've got that Instagram one. If you don't mind, stop sharing, I'll start sharing.
I have the Instagram.
I've got everything on one page. It's, I'll send it around. We put it in the Dilworth. Yeah.
These are soft colors, we have bright colors.
That's
Yeah, that's the website. This is the memoir case, which these two talented designers came, designed, did all the filming and all for as well. There must be music to it. This is the work shed.
Shed.
It used to have it.
It used to have it.
This is all the ingredients for our natural dyes, and then, we just made the dye lab, our backyard into a dye lab.
How hot is it there?
Very hot. Ranjit, give me temperatures in Delhi. 40, I know centigrade, so.
Right now, it's probably 95, 100, to be safe to say.
Just like you.
Yeah, it's just like,
But we had a very cold winter, and this is we do a lot of quantities.
so the highs in Delhi today are 90 and the low 79.
These are all young models. We're marketing to the urban market, so, This is a bunch of happy women.
It's all.
It's technology, not stuff.
It's all good. Any other question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kiran, for coming here, and we'd like.
Yeah.
Right here. Oh,
boy.
Thank you. I'm so happy. That's for you. I'll give it to you as well. Thank you so much. I love using.
And I will have all the handles of Instagram and.
Yes, please do share, and I will go back and get that license. Yeah, this is the website. This is our quality check.
Okay. So we do a rapid drawing now, and I'd like, choose our tickets, the winning ticket.
So that is 483. 483.
483.
483.
483. Right here. Look at that.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Super.
announcements online.
Should we look at that?
Thank you. Thank you, Tanvi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Atul.
Actually, this. Thanks, Atul. Means a lot.
Jump to the latest, the more at the bottom. At the bottom of the page, jump to the latest.
Where do you want me to put the camera?
We got it all.
Okay, Joyce has one announcement here on September 4th, 6 to 8. They have a service project at the pool. Joyce had an announcement on September 4th, 6 to 8 p.m. They have a service project at the pool.
Where would you like the camera?
Alright, so I'll make that.
Very expensive.
Table. Should I mark this to put it on here? Things like that. We have tables.
We have to do it by memory.
We know it. So. Well, there's, yeah, we'll put it up. We're looking at the soulmate test. Sure. Yeah. You may have to stand behind it. Yeah, we need somebody to talk.
I have it on the screen now.
But she's got it on the screen. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So everybody stand with the four-way tag.
We have model.
Get a picture quickly.
Of all the things we think, say, or do,
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will you live a beneficial benefits? Will be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun?
All right, thank you. Excellent job.
Yeah, all of my. I don't speak it.
It's conversation, I think. Yeah. Let's say bye to everybody.